Good evening, everybody. I would like to call to order the December 14th, 2022 regular meeting of the Monee Village Board of Trustees. If I could please ask Dave Holston from St. Paul's UCC to come forward for the invocation.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, friends. And that's kind of an honor for me to be here tonight, the last meeting of the year, because so many of you are actually friends, people I've known for years, people that I've had relationships for years. And I actually put something together in writing tonight as a devotion. And if you know me, you know I don't like to read anything, but I thought this was important. So if you'll indulge me, I'll make it fairly quick. This week, many of us will celebrate Advent by lighting the last of the candles representing hope, peace, joy, and love. The ultimate love of God, celebrating the birth of the one who came for God, for us, and has promised to come again for us. If we believe Jesus came the first time, shouldn't we believe he'll come a second time? If you knew a friend was coming for a long-awaited visit, you'd clean the house and prepare the finest food and drink. If the weather worsened and the hour grew late, you'd turn on all the lights and pace the floor until you heard their knock on the door. So let's make room in our hearts for the answers to our prayers. Let us live as if our Advent longings will be fulfilled. Shall we pray? Lord, we're grateful for people who serve their community in so many different ways. We pray tonight for our village attorney, for our administrator, for our mayor, for our trustees, for those staff members that serve, for those vendors that serve, for those community members who are here, who care about our community and are willing to serve in one way or the other. We pray that you would be with us, no matter what our faith, no matter what our religion, no matter what our beliefs are, that you would bring us together. Because there is only one God, and you are that God, and you are a God of love. Help us to love each other and to show that love by serving each other and our community. We pray this in the precious name of Jesus, who we look forward to celebrating the birth of in a couple of weeks. In your precious name, amen. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Here.
Trustee Horn.
Here.
Trustee Henson.
Present.
Trustee Rakes.
Present.
Trustee Wilson.
Present.
Trustee Udress.
Present.
Thank you. Open to the public, agenda items only. If anybody has anything they would like to say, now is the time. Okay. May I please have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udress.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
And moving on to the clerk's report.
Thank you, Mayor Bogues. I have a couple items for tonight, but I'll first administer the oath. No problem. If you can please raise your right hand, repeat after me, insert your name after I.
I, Kevin Avers,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as police officer
as police officer
for the Village of Monee
for the Village of Monee
Police Department
Police
to
Department
the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here you are. You can sign this for me. Thank you. And this is your copy.
If I could tell you a little story, Mayor. Kevin comes over to us from Stager PD. He's very highly thought of over there. A lot of our officers already knew Kevin, and it benefits us as a community greatly that Kevin has experience in Will County and the east side of Will County. He knows how to do all the reports and take care of everything on this side, which is a great benefit to us, and we feel like we may have gotten a little gem here that we stole from Stager. The Stager chief is a pretty good friend of mine, so I got a phone call about a month ago, and the first words out of his mouth is, "Are you really going to do this to me?" And I said, "Probably." And he goes, "We are no longer friends." I says, "Okay, where are you buying me lunch?" Actually, he said he wanted to hire Kevin himself. They just didn't have it in their budget this year to bring on him as a full-time officer. So we were able to snatch him up before they got him onto their roster full-time. Kevin, welcome, Monee. You're in the better place. Sorry, Chief Smith. Mom, come on up. You're going to be in the pictures too.
Hang on, Mom's camera. Thank you.
Okay, continuing on with my report, just wanted to make sure I let everyone know potential candidates for the consolidated election that will take place April of next year, 2023. The final deadline for the filing will be next Monday, December 19th. So you do have the rest of this week, including next Monday until 5 p.m., not a.m. Also, I wanted to give a special thank you to Diana and her Parks and Rec crew that did an amazing job today with the senior luncheon. I stopped by as I am now the president of the band boosters for the district. So I stopped by to take some videos and pictures. They did a really great job, and also our crew was really great as well. Wanted to, last but not least, make mention if any of the trustees, do you all prefer, can you let me know if you prefer to have paper packets, which one of you guys do, so that we can make sure we don't overprint, because I know everyone is not utilizing them, so that would be a great thing to kind of cut back. I want paper? Paper. No? Paper. Okay, 3 paper? Okay. Sounds good. And I did say last but not least, just want everyone to have a very merry and safe Christmas. End of report.
Thank you very much. Under my report, we've got discussion approval, read the tax levy. So as you recall, at our last meeting on November 9th, we had discussed leaving the tax levy where it is without raising it. That was agreed upon, so I'm asking now for a final vote so that we can approve the tax levy and get it to an ordinance so we can get that filed with Will County.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Moving on to the Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. So here's my Stager story. I met with some engineers and a trustee from Stager yesterday, and he brought this up. and said, "You guys better stay out of our town, you're poaching." Not only did you get a building services manager from our town, now you have a police officer. So I reminded him, "Well, didn't we give you a EMA squad car, well, a few weeks ago, and is lining it up a little bit?" So, thank you, Stager. First item under my report is a presentation that'll be done by White and Associates. And as the board is aware, design and engineering plans are underway for the new Department of Public Works facility that will be constructed on our property located on Industrial Drive. As we prepare to move into the site preparation and construction phase, we will be utilizing a construction management, or CM, approach to oversee the final design, planning, and pricing of materials in this continually changing market, as well as provide construction oversight. Much of the CM's responsibility is to balance the overall cost, schedule, quality, and scope of the project while maintaining close communication with the village. CM decisions can be made to modify the design concept instead of having to spend a considerable amount of time, effort, money redesigning and/or modifying completed construction documents. This approach is an alternative method, and the delivery system is found to be cost-effective. Tonight we will have two presentations from two very capable firms. We have asked White and Associates as well as PBS Design to address the board and showcase their company, experience, and unique abilities as it relates to construction management of municipal construction projects. The final selection to enter into an agreement with one of these firms will be presented for approval at our January 11th board meeting. Tonight's first presenter is White and Associates. Reagan Pattison, Director of Local Government, and Craig Pulte, Director of Construction, are the presenters tonight. So without further introduction, Reagan and Craig.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Administrator, Council. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Reagan Pattison. I'm the Director of State and Local Government for White and Company. I'm happy to be here in front of you all. Let me start our...
It's the PowerPoint with everything.
Oops. Oh, so it does that. So I don't need this.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. So I've been with White and Company for this February will be almost 4 years. Prior to that, almost 20 years ago, I was an alderman for the city of Wilmington. And then I practiced law and was also a Will County board member about 6 years ago. I understand the seats that you all sit at. I remember being elected. I remember, being there for our taxpayers, being there for the residents. Budget is primary and a big concern where you guys sit. I truly empathize with you empathize with you and am happy that you are in your position dedicated to your community and residents. When I stopped being elected, I also became chief of staff for the county board. So the staff and everyone that supports the elected officials, I appreciate you as well. You make all these people look wonderful and are truly dedicated to your residents as well. My job with White and Company is I am pretty much a liaison and an advocate, a liaison between the client, you, and my company. We don't foresee any problems, but I am that person. You'll have somebody on the site and technical experts that are working with you. But if there are any questions when it comes to PR or budget, or if the press release is coming out, or you just need to be more educated, if people have concerns, I'm there for you. And knowing that I've sat in your seat at some point. We understand, and that's how we feel we're unique compared to other architects, construction companies. So, with that being said, Here's Craig, my
Hi.
colleague.
I'm Craig Pulte. I'm Director of Construction at White. I was just happy to see that you decided to bring in a CM as early as you are. It's actually a major benefit in the entire process. You know, we're a different kind of CM. We have an architecture end, we have an engineering end, we have all those services in-house. So our normal delivery method is to work with architects and engineers on a daily basis, like literally walking over their cube. So the value that we really bring is helping the village and the designers make early decisions in the process. You know, if you can make the big decisions early on and get accurate budgets and accurate information, talk to the subcontractor community, understand what's going in the market, you can make big decisions early on in the project and it doesn't cost you anything because they're lines on a piece of paper. If you can have a plan and do it early as you move forward through the process, the construction process goes a little bit quicker, saves you money. Less time we're on site, the less we charge. So as it's well thought out and you kind of march through it and you make those decisions early on and go, then the project is very streamlined and it moves pretty quick. So go to the next one.
Oh, this is me.
Yes, go ahead.
So what Craig says is, yes, we are there as construction manager. We're not there for architects. You have Farnsworth, and quite honestly, we love Farnsworth. I can tell you, before I joined White and Company, when I was with the Will County Board, with the county board, hired Farnsworth. They did about $3.5 million worth of work for Sunny Hill Nursing Home, and I can tell you that's where my father resides. So I trust them. I like them. And now with White and Company, we've worked with them. So we already have an existing relationship with them. We worked with them on the Will County Courthouse, and currently we're working with them in Kane County on different government buildings. And we continually talk to each other on different projects that come up. So it's not a new relationship. We know how to work together. Our staff knows how to work together, and we enjoy working with them. So together, we believe also that you guys are a true partner too. So it's not just us working together, the client needs to be there. You know your residents, you know what your staff needs, and you know your needs better than Farnsworth or I. Yes, we can ask you questions, but in the end, it's your budget, it's your schedule, it's the timeline that we need to abide by. So through this process, we'll all work together.
I think our advantage is the fact that we can look at, because our estimating group, they work with architects and all the time, they're really good at eliciting the intent from the architect and understanding, you know, even on drawings like this that are schematic, understanding the information, where the design will go over time, and then be able to budget accordingly, knowing what's coming down the road. That's huge. And one of the way, you know, we'll work at risk. We'll work at agency, you know, the contract format doesn't matter. My job is to shepherd your money, right? So my job is to give you the best product that I can at the lowest cost, and that is my goal. We don't share in any savings at all in our contract structure, so there's no benefit in me giving you an inflated budget, right? My job at this point is to work with our estimators in Farnsworth and give you the accurate numbers so you can make an informed decision early on and then know that you're going to get what you want. So we're really big at it's the scope of the building, the quality, and the schedule is going to dictate what the budget is, right? They all work together, and the more you address the budget early, and the more that you address the scope early and get it set, and everybody's going the same direction, we can provide more information. You know, we talk to the subcontractor community all the time. We always follow the market conditions. We buy a lot of work because we're a pretty good sized company, so we see where the trends are. We know what's coming. We know where things are at. I'm working on a project right now for the Glen Ellen Park District. That's going to be a pre-engineered metal building. So we went to one of the subs that we've used many times over, talked to him about pricing. He's like, look, the orders are down. Steel's starting to come down in the pre-engineered metal building. It kind of looks like that might be one of the options. The market's starting to come down. He's like, if you can get your order in early spring, that's where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. So those are kind of the things that we look at as we evaluate the design and work with the architects. We're not here to do, design. We're there to give them some ideas and tell them what the market's trending, and then provide them with the information to give you guys the best product.
So we wanted to show you, we do have experience, not just in architecture, engineer, and construction, but this type of building that you all are looking at. This type of building, it depends on the square footage, the design, the materials. So these are just a few buildings public work buildings or public types that we've done. This is one in Elgin. This is one in Joliet. This was actually we did with ComEd. So it may not be municipal, but we do government and municipal. We also work with ComEd and different agencies that work with government agencies.
Believe it or not, we're working for the unions, which I never thought would happen. But, you know, we did the IBEW crane building that everybody sees all lit up. We've got a good depth of experience in industrial construction. That's kind of what a maintenance facility is. We've done a bunch of precast. We've done a bunch of pre-engineered metal buildings. You know, it's important in the schedule to understand that we're procuring the long lead items early. You know, electrical components now are taking a long time. Trusses and bar joists have kind of stabilized, but part of what we're going to be doing is working with Farnsworth to put together a schedule for procurement so that we know when those long lead items are, so that we don't have any stalls as the project goes along.
So we're here to ask you to bring us on as your construction manager. One, we will be a true partner with the village. You guys are the most important, your staff is the most important, your needs, and then next, it's your budget. And what goes along with the budget is the timeline. And as Craig says, we all know with the market and the conditions and what's going on, we've found creative ways to save money for our clients, and we want to do that for you. But again, it's our experience. We've already worked with Farnsworth, and we have a friendship. It's not just a professional. We've become friends with them, you know, and we feel we have that reputation as well with a lot of our clients. You know, I can say, Craig, I've only been 4 years at White & Company, but Craig, I mean, we just got called back with the Will County Forest Preserve in Bolingbrook, and he did a project 20 years ago, and they called him back because they remember 20 years ago on some projects. So that's the reputation that we thrive on, and we'd love to be a part of your community. So thank you. Any questions?
Yes.
I have a question for you. So we hired you for construction manager. First of all, White & Company, how long have you been around?
80 some years.
82.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been with them for 17 years. So I've been with them for 17 years personally.
Okay. So if we hire you guys to do the construction management, does that mean that there is a person full-time on site?
Yes, there's a full-time superintendent and a project manager. Depending on the size of the building and the workload, the project manager's time will be, you know, put into the project accordingly. He'll do a lot more work up front, and then he'll be at owners' meetings. But we don't believe in loading up on our staff to inflate the general conditions. If it's a project manager 1 day a week, and that's good enough for the project to make and deliver what we want to deliver, then we don't overload you with hours and charge more fee. But there is a full-time superintendent that's here every day. He's coordinating contractors, he's helping interpret the drawings, and then he's doing QA, QC, and making sure that the products that are supposed to get installed.
And then where's his office?
He would be in a trailer on site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's overseeing safety too as well, right? So.
Okay, thank you.
Question that I have, and you kind of hit on it a little bit, with the construction materials and the way that the market with that is changing. We agree on a budget for our building. How do you guys handle if those materials costs start going up and all of a sudden our, the cost for that building instead of being here is up here? How is that handled?
Well, it's part of the early procurement, right? So we want to be buying as much as we can, as early as we can while the market's down. You know, mechanical units are long lead now, electrical components. You know, the molded breakers and distribution panels are just crazy. So it's really, that's in the planning early on in the pre-con, and then understanding what we need to order, when we need to order. You know, and if we're bidding, we can stagger bids. We do that a lot. So it really depends on what the contract format ends up being, if we guarantee a price or however it's structured, right? So it's really in the pre-planning as we start going through and understanding what we need when, and then, you know, making sure that we're in the market and we know what's going on. But we're always buying work, so that, we have bid openings at least every week on projects of pretty good size. So we got a pretty good handle on what's going on in the market.
Okay.
Further
And that-
explain guaranteed price.
Oh, guaranteed price? Well, that's just, if that's the contract format, as soon as we get to down the road, a certain, a certain stage with the drawings, and that's really up to interpretation and negotiation of when that happens, and then we guarantee a price and it won't go over. So, and then whatever, so, if we do it right, whatever's left.
Right.
You get it all back. So
Okay.
we don't share in any savings.
Okay.
So, I mean, my job on this, it's like you're a construction guy, but like, once you get to my level, my job is to manage your budget, and I'm the shepherd of your money, right? And I'm holding contracts, so I'm making sure that what everybody's held accountable in the field, and the subcontractors are doing what they're supposed to do. There's not unnecessary change orders. If there is a change that you guys make, we don't mark that up. Once the contract's established, we don't keep adding money to our contract to make more money off of you. We just lay it out there and say, here's what it is, and then we go. Right? It's about being successful. Everybody wants their job to be easy. It's my job to make your job easy, right? So that's kind of what project management has become,
Okay.
especially in the modern construction era.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure.
I have a question in reference, you had mentioned the Will County Courthouse. How did you, working with their budget, and how did you fare out with the timeline that was given? Did you meet the timeline?
Yes, so on that project, White and Company was only the architects. The construction manager was Gil Bain. Farnsworth was the commissioning agent. I was on the Will County Board when we started, and I was chief of staff when I finished. So I worked with all of them from the beginning to the end. The budget, I can tell you, was established early on by the county board at $215 million, and we were a seat at that table from day one and every day moving forward, because it was about budget. The revenues that we dedicated to that project was some RTA dollars, because under our Will County ordinance, you could use that for safety, and there are safety issues. We also helped create legislation for revenue, but we were very tight on that. I will say, White and Company, it was not any unnecessary designs. The whole facade of that courthouse is a lot of glass, natural light, and at some point, someone was talking about skylights. That's I think it was like $800,000 added expense. But they noticed that, and White and Company cut that out without the client asking. Gil Bain worked really well, but Gil Bain, again, was brought on early. You guys are doing the right thing. And so they were there while White and Company, was still designing it. And maybe the construction company saw something, and their guys saw something, the way you build this, because architects and construction people think a little bit different. I'm a lawyer, I think a little bit different too. So it was fun being in a room. So, but together, it was such a nice collaboration, and we stayed within that 215 million. And then also schedule-wise, there was different ways. Maybe, I think for like 3-4 months, we got some enclosures done during the winter. And I think we talked to the unions and our local labor, which we have very good relationships with, and we started negotiating some Saturdays to get work done, but we were done a little early, if I remember.
Thank you.
Yeah, some people wait too long to bring a CM in. And then you lose the expertise of what a construction manager provides, right? It's the pre-construction is the most important part of it. So it's accurate estimating and helping provide some value. And value engineering is a bad term, right? You never want to do that, because that means you made a mistake and then you're going back to fix it. But it's more, what we really call it like continuous estimating, right? So you're there for the owner and you're there for the architect. So when the questions come up, you can provide answers and help guide the design team and the owner go in the right direction, so that there's not a lot of wasted hours in design, right? Because architects get frustrated when hours go over and they want answers. So that's really the expertise and the part of it. If you wait too long to bring in a CM, then you're really just building a building, right? And it's pardon, it's not rocket science, right? There's a lot of builders out there. The expertise is really in the planning and the forefront part of it. And then you get the technical expertise in the field to develop the project, or bring it all together. So, and I think, you know, we really strive to, and I pride myself on a high amount of bids. My goal is to provide the best coverage that I can, especially the local contractors, because sometimes you get a price from the best price is the guy down the street. So you want to make sure that we're going to local, but we advertise the heck out of it, and we kind of send it out to the world. We use a web-based platform. So my goal is to make sure you're getting 10 mechanical bids and 10 electrical bids, because you want the hungriest guys out there. A lot of times we guarantee projects and the low bids are underneath the guaranteed max, but you take the second number across the board and you're over. So it's really, our work is to try to get good coverage and get you quality contractors in as many bids as we can.
I have a few questions. How long have you been in industrial construction?
Boy, I've been in this business way too long.
Okay.
35 years.
Okay, so how do you not inflate the price? And at the end of it, will there be a percentage or somewhere in the contract that states if we exceed X amount?
If we guarantee a price and we go over, Mark White writes a check. He's our owner. If we're under, you get 100% of the money back. We don't share in any savings at all. It's just the model that he developed in the public arena. It creates issues. So when Mark White first started the construction end of the business, he made a decision to say, I don't want my employees to have a need to inflate a budget thinking they're going to get some share, right? There are some companies where a project manager gets a bonus of the shared saving. That's why people inflate budgets. That's not what we do, because I'm not making any more money, right? General conditions is going to cover the project manager, some in-house stuff, and the superintendent. And then there's usually a CM fee, and then an insurance number that covers the insurance. That's all we get. So I'm not going to make more money once we establish that budget. So really what we're doing is serving you guys. It's being your trusted advisor. Somebody that you can call and rely on and develop a relationship with and trust and know that you're getting the best deal that's out there, and there's no reason to be underhanded or anything like that. So.
Okay, and how often will we meet with you to discuss?
As often as you want.
Thank you.
There's no limit. And especially early in the project, it's very important, right? And then there's typically weekly owner meetings.
Yep.
Anytime you want an update, you call us, we'll come do a presentation,
Yep.
tell you where we're at, walk you through the budget. And our accounting system is totally open book. So at any point in the project, you can call and say, I want to see all the financials, and it's an Excel spreadsheet that we generate from our accounting system. You can see every change order that's been written. You can see every contract. You can see projections of maybe potential stuff coming down the road, and it's all laid out there in there for you to see. You just got to think of it as like I'm one of your employees, is really what it comes down to. Anybody else? We didn't even use the presentation. There were some pictures in there and some other stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know how to close this. There we go.
there you go.
All right. Well, thank
Cool.
you all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Reagan.
Good seeing you. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Good to see you. There. Very much. Thank you. Thank you. I like how you got them on the ice skater name first. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you all. Merry Christmas. Happy holiday.
Thank you. Same to you.
Is that your USB?
Nope. Nope.
Okay. Next item under my report is the Court Street Bridge Deck patching. On November 30th, 2022, the village received and reviewed all bids submitted for the Court Street Bridge Deck patching project. The bids submitted were Iroquois Paving Corporation, $88,750.00. PT Farrell Construction Company, $115,000.00. D Construction, Inc., $135,000.00. Hurley He Mid-Continent Company, $167,320.00. As seen above, the lowest bid, Iroquois Paving Corporation, is approximately 33% lower than the estimated cost of $132,500.00 for this project. Board action request is a motion to award the Court Street Bridge Deck Patching Contract to Iroquois Paving Corporation in the amount of $88,750.00.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Any discussion?
I just,
have a couple comments, just to say, I'm glad to see local that, putting in the bids and are being able to award, and obviously have a lot of projects over the years with Iroquois. So thank goodness for that, and frankly, that we had more than one bid. So I'm always glad to see that. And I think Diana can attest to the bridge project needing to be done. Taking her life into her own hands a few weeks ago. So yeah, I'm very glad to see this.
I also am glad to see us going local and everything. And with the lower price, it doesn't mean lower quality with Iroquois. Iroquois always done real good for us and always taken care of us, so.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes,
Yes.
Trustee Wilson,
Yes.
Trustee Udris,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item, Monee Manhattan Road and Egyptian Trail sidewalk improvements. On December 7th, 2022, bids were received for the Monee Manhattan and Egyptian Trail sidewalk improvement project. The bids received were J&J Newell Construction, Inc., $238,779.60. Triggy Construction, $255,740.00. Davis Concrete Construction Company, $267,094.50. Austin Tyler Construction, Inc., $299,850.60. Noted in the itemized bid tabulation above, the low bid is approximately 1.6% higher than the estimated cost of $234,968.00. Board action request is a motion to award the Monee Manhattan and Egyptian Trail sidewalk project to J&J Newell Construction, Inc., in the amount of $238,779.60.
I'll make that motion.
Second, and discussion?
Discussion, yes.
Yeah, so, and obviously, Ruben, you noted the 1.6 kind of higher than the estimation, and the estimate was given by Jeff, our engineer, yep. So if we can keep an eye on this project and then encourage them to bring down, or we might come in under that 1.6 overage and still might make that estimated budget? Yes? Thank you, that's all.
And time frame?
Should have a completion date of June 16th. Yes, sir.
When's the start date?
As soon as,
As soon as it's thawed.
start date. Asking is just, we get some weather, break in the weather, and
Right, yeah, probably spring, once the weather breaks, we have, fall on the ground.
Do we have an idea, rough, like, why everything came in above the estimated cost, or is it, materials, or, any ideas why?
Yeah, well, there have been cement shortages, probably the contractors have hard time getting cement, and projects are, timelines are a lot longer, less supply. Yeah, it's scheduled as well.
So
All right.
the big hole in the ground in Thornton, there's not enough cement coming out of there?
Well, that's the stone.
Gotcha.
It's
The aggregate.
Northern Michigan, other country.
So with that being said, are we gonna have a problem getting this material to complete by June 16th?
We should not have a problem.
Roll call. Pardon me? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item, Court Street Water Main Replacement Project. On December 7th, 2022, the village received and reviewed all bids submitted for the Court Street Water Main Replacement Project. The bids submitted were Iroquois Paving Corporation, $1,413,819.50. M&J Underground, Inc., $1,662,641.00. Austin Tyler Construction, Inc., $1,721,834.00. Aries, Inc., $2,259,696.00. As seen above, the lowest bid, Iroquois Paving Corporation, is approximately 0.7% lower than the estimated cost of $1,424,315.00 for this project. Board action request is a motion to award the Court Street Water Main Replacement Project to Iroquois Paving Corporation in the amount of $1,413,819.
I'll make that motion.
$1,413,819.50.
That's a little different. I'll still make the motion.
Tongue
Second.
twister.
Second.
Any discussion?
What, and this was Iroquois Paving we're giving this to? And what is the discrepancy from 1.4 to 2.2? That seems extremely high and different.
I can answer a little of that. They're local. They work for it. They don't have to go out.
Sharper
and everything.
pencils.
They're
Sharper
closer.
Jeff,
They're right here in town.
I don't know if you want to address that or not.
It's always hard to see, bids as far as different companies, why they give different bids. You got the material costs. Sometimes it's, the contractor's really busy. Sometimes they like providing bids and they may give a little bit higher price. It's really hard to, to tell. There's a lot of different scenarios.
Transportation.
Well, it being close to, probably.
Yeah. That has a considerable amount to do with it.
Right. And water, and also, like, so, like material prices, I mean, water main, the prices have been going really high, and lead times are really long. So there's a whole, all sorts of different factors.
Let's start and finish on this. Do we have that date?
Yes, that is August 1st for a completion date.
And can you clarify for us again the length of it, or from where to where this main is going to be replaced? From
This
what
one-
street to what street?
This will be from Court Street, from Oak to Village Hall, Pinewood from Main Street to Astor, and then Oak from Court to Astor.
And this would also probably start in the spring when everything broke.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item is the Wilson Street area water main improvements. On December 7th, 2022, the village received and reviewed all bids submitted for the Wilson Street area water main improvement project. The bids submitted were H. Linden and Sons Sewer and Water, $1,243,785.00. M&J Underground, Inc., $1,289,817.25. Austin Tyler Construction, Inc., $1,355,369.75. Iroquois Paving Corporation, $1,553,751.00. Aries, Inc., $1,870,300.00. As seen in the bid tabulation, the low bid is approximately 1.04% 6% lower than the estimated cost of $1,256,880.00. The board action request is a motion to award the Wilson Street Area Water Main Improvement Project to H. Linden and Sons Sewer and Water in the amount of $1,243,785.00.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
I do have a question. So H. Linden and Sons, where are they out of? Do we know?
West over the Plano.
Plano, okay. I'm just curious, have they done any work for us in the village here?
Not in the village, to my knowledge. They've done work in here before, like Frankfurt and Tinley, they come down and work in this.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item is Department of Parks and Recreation Specialist. The village has recently deployed a Parks and Recreation Comprehensive Plan and has contracted an engineering firm to help with the future design plans, addressing much-needed infrastructure, amenities, and park attractions to showcase a growing, vibrant Parks and Recreation Department. As the Parks Department continues to grow at a fast pace, the administration also recognizes the importance of addressing the infrastructural need of employing a Parks and Rec team of qualified staff members. Therefore, the Parks and Recreation Director has requested to promote one of its part-time employees to full-time status. Over the past 7 years, this particular team member has proven to be a dedicated and hardworking employee and has played a crucial role during this time. Should the promotion be approved, this full-time position would take on the role of a Parks and Recreation Specialist. It should also be noted that this position has been budgeted for fiscal year 2023. A copy of the job description is attached for your review and consideration. The board action requested is a motion to approve the promotion of the Parks and Recreation part-time employee to full-time position of Parks and Recreation Specialist.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Just comment. It's a long time coming for Diana Kroll. She busts her behind. She goes above and beyond. And any help that we can give her, especially with the incoming parks plan and the future, she deserves it and needs it.
Now, Diana, where? Oh, there you are. No more cooking hot dogs and hamburgers for you. Those days are over with.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes, please, and
Trustee
thank
Horn?
you.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. The second action requested is a motion to authorize the village attorney to draft an ordinance for the position of the Parks and Recreation Specialist.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Do we need discussion?
I just have one comment here. I noticed on the education and other requirements page, I guess it was the third page, we're requiring a bachelor's of science in parks, in park and recreation. My experience from businesses these days is to actually de-emphasize the acquisition of degrees and elevate the ability to hard work and show up on time. I guess I just question whether if the position really does require a bachelor's degree.
But that's
Well, it
that's
does-
where the "or" comes in.
Yeah.
Related field of experience, present or past. So we cover all bases, I think, with that.
I think that's a good point. I have a continuing argument with my little brother all the time about it. Would you rather have a doctor that's had the experience, or would you rather have a doctor that just got out of school but has all of these degrees? I think they work hand in hand. So I agree with you 100%, Doug.
Anything else?
Just that being said then, if we wanted to just redo that requirement in the job description when the ordinance is drawn, is Jude here too? Okay.
No, it
I don't
says
think it's
and or.
necessary.
The wording
It
is
says
and
or. It's not a must. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes,
Yes.
Trustee Wilson,
Yes.
Trustee Udris,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. The last item under the Administrator's report is to introduce PBS. We've got Chad Sharon and Brian Reeser from PBS here to speak to us tonight about construction management. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Hand these out.
How you doing, Chad? Good. Thank you, sir.
So this package I gave you, just again, some of you probably familiar with me. It's only been a few months, but this is just a little different approach with construction management. Emphasizes a little bit of our experience, talks a little bit about us. But so beyond me, tonight I wanted to bring Brian Reiser. So Brian is another owner of PBS, and Brian actually, he has lifelong experience and has been part of Crete and Monee his entire life.
I'm a Crete Monee grad, so yeah, I've been around the area for quite some time. Actually, I attend church a couple doors down at Living Creek here in Monee, so frequent the area, so to speak.
Brian was also, he's been instrumental in all the projects we've done in Monee over the years, and probably one of the more notable ones is he was the lead inspector when we were partnered with Farnsworth on the inspectional services of the Amazon Fulfillment Center over there off of Ridgeland Avenue a few years back. So quite the project, but it was a great synergy between both companies, Farnsworth, PBS, and the Village of Monee at that point in time. Then construction management. So for PBS, this is, I think I mentioned last time I was with you all, this is our 33rd year. So we've been in construction management essentially our entire 3 decades of what we do. We are a builder first that happens to do some design as opposed to a designer that does building as well. Most people can build a building, but our approach is always customer first, management from a construction perspective, and then we bring that back to a design team that allows us to bring cost-effective, efficient planning to a designer from somebody who is in the field on a daily basis, as opposed to trying to design something and then go out and build it. So that gives us a little bit of an advantage when we're working with designing and planning for a new facility. Your facility, from what we've seen so far, fantastic potential for it. There's many things that, of course, collaboration is so key to us on the onset, and I know that's important for you all as well, whether it's between us and Farnsworth as a designer and the village collectively as a whole, wanting to design it right, but from a builder's perspective as well. So that collaboration early on is critical for us, that we have that. And having that experience with Farnsworth before is, that's important, and we do have that synergy together. And with your facility, looking at how do we plan for it now, but maybe phasing it for future as well, as opposed to trying to design everything now, and that might not be necessary. So you can look at it from a more cost-effective approach in that regard. In terms of construction management for the building, do you want to talk questions for us that you want to ask of us, or?
Hi, I'll ask you, same question I asked the other presenters. If we were to hire you as our construction managers, would there be a full-time person on site?
Yeah, absolutely. Go
I'll
ahead,
take that
Brian.
question. So I direct operations, and the answer to the question is yes. There will be a full-time superintendent, as well as myself as a director of operations who would frequent the site multiple times a week. But yes, we will have on-site presence every day, and there will be a single superintendent that you'll be able to communicate with on a daily basis.
And it's not a superintendent that's jumping from project to project
Correct.
either. It's a single dedicated
Correct.
superintendent that has the ability to go 10 minutes between office and back to a site.
Would he remain on site, or would it remain in office and then do site visits?
For a project this size, there would certainly be a job site office that he will work out of.
Okay. And going beyond the site supervisor, what does your staff entail? What should we expect?
Sure, that's a good question. So there's myself, who I oversee operations. I will be the one actually writing contracts to the subcontracting team that is the qualified low bidders. We also have in-house accountants. Obviously, we'll handle the billing. We will make sure that all the draws are taken care of on a timely basis, on a monthly basis, making sure that certificates of insurance, we have a person who's dedicated just to that, to making sure that everybody's covered insurance-wise, and that we have updated certificates of insurance for each subcontractor. Safety programs, making sure that we have all the subcontractors' safety programs on file, and as well as our superintendent enforcing those safety standards as well. In terms of design, when we collaborate with Farnsworth, we do have an in-house team of designers, and as well as an architect that will also be a part of collaborating with Farnsworth as we design your project.
How's your relationship with the vendors?
We look at our vendors as a member of our team. Our subcontractors, our suppliers, when they're on a job site, they represent PBS. And so therefore, we have a pretty strict qualification program, especially when it comes to a public project where it will be public bid. You know, the lowest price isn't always the best vendor. And that's one thing that we've learned throughout the years, and we try to make sure that we hold a standard to say, we want to make sure that we are getting the right team on board. And so we have a whole program for qualifying new subcontractors and vendors. Again, going back to the fact that they are our team when they are in the field. And so that's important to us.
It's checks and balances, because we're not, our process is not typically, we're just bidding projects all the time. So we have to establish relationships with people that we can trust. They know our expectations, and then we know what we can count on them for on all of our projects, because they want sustainability with our company.
We are not perfect, but I will say that most of our vendors and subcontractors, they enjoy working with us, because we do see them as part of the team. We make sure that our billings are on time so that they can be paid properly on time, those sorts of things, and it goes a long way.
How's your access to materials right now?
I didn't see the link.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was me again, sorry.
Good. It has been a little difficult this past year, obviously, the COVID effect and inflation and that sort of thing. Things are starting to stabilize a little bit in terms of some of the heavy construction materials. Concrete right now is an issue, and that's an issue for everybody. You guys were talking a little bit
I wish there was concrete in Thornton.
Yeah. That's actually, it's the Portland and the fly ash that we're having a hard time getting up the Mississippi River, because
that's what you make
Mississippi
concrete
is drying up. So those are the other two main ingredients in concrete. So there's a major shortage, and that's a bit of an issue. We're hoping that that begins to even out a little bit. But in terms of access to materials, we have great vendors, we have great suppliers that we work with on a daily basis. Numbers are kind of all over the place right now, but when we have a design and we have a qualified low bidder, our first plan of attack is to lock in on pricing on some of the major components in terms of materials.
Try to order wherever we can,
Good.
Especially the longer lead time.
Yeah.
So
Which brings
going
me to
along with that, in terms of material and the cost of material, obviously we set a budget for the project. Do you guys offer a guaranteed price for that project? And then how do you deal with it? What's the plan if materials, start to inflate and go up? How do you handle that in terms of that guaranteed price?
Sure. You want to take that one, Jim?
For 30 plus years, we've guaranteed our price. And over the last couple of years, it's, like Brian said, we try to finalize design as much as possible. We try to lock in our teams as much as possible. But we're transparent, and we're upfront with everybody to say we all know the market we're in and what we're facing. So what can we lock in, what can we order, and what level of contingency do we have to put in there reasonable that we know could be required going forward. To assume that something's going to cost 20% more 6 months down the road, that only inflates the budget early on. So for us, it's more practical and safer to say, let's collectively figure a reasonable contingency that we can pull from should that come up. If not, naturally, it's not spent money, but we just try to be safe and upfront with that.
Speaking of the budget, if you guys were to come in under budget, what do you do with that extra money?
Well, it's not our money anyway, so, I mean, as construction manager, we're your advocate. We're your extension of Monee, so construction management for us it's fixed. It's not a moving target to where if the budget comes in less, we're going to assume any of that money. The money is the village's, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of subs then, are those pretty local too, that you're able to contract with, as far as even the folks out there building it when it gets to that point too?
We always shoot for that. Obviously, this is a public project, so it will have to be advertised, I'm assuming. And so therefore, it is kind of open to everybody to bid. But yeah, obviously, if there's a local contractor that is qualified and has a number that we can work with, we're always going to try to shoot for that. Just like us being down the street, we would hope that that plays a role in this as well. So, absolutely.
And having those relationships with the local ones hopefully will garner their desire to actually work on the project. Yeah. What's important to you all in a construction manager?
How good the work is done.
Right, Mark, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if I have to replace something all the time, it's obviously not the good standard. You have to have good work done, which is why I understand, and I think everybody here understands, the lowest bidder isn't the best work. There was a movie years ago I seen, you're sitting on X amount of pounds of rocket fuel built by the lowest bidder. Well, that's...
that one. I know what you're talking about.
So, it's the quality of work, I think, and if you can get the balance of the quality of work in the price somewhere that's competitive with the other companies that do that same kind of work, I think that's what's important. And I think we would all agree with that for the most part. But that's definitely a good point of where to, I guess, grade your own abilities or capabilities for the work you do. Is how often is someone calling you back, or how often are you redoing the same job? Little bit in sheet metal fabrication for myself, I've seen that kind of fluctuation where you've gotten somebody who's come in really low, and you're trying to figure out how they're making it for that, and then you understand they're not, so.
Two of the key things for us as construction manager are front-end planning and partnering with somebody like Farnsworth to where you're looking at, we don't like to value engineer after the design is complete. We try to have that mindset going into the planning. So that's key for us in the beginning. And then later, construction management, the bid world, as you can imagine, everybody in the public sector are bidding. There's a lot of bidders. So trying to evaluate all of these bids that are coming through that often exclude things that maybe design said to include, that can create a gap of increased cost that is significant. So that's the backside of before construction for us that's important, is really evaluating all these bids to ensure for the benefit of Monee that it's all inclusive.
That comes down to qualifying the bid, obviously, as it relates to materials, types of materials they're including, down to are they including the the right ceiling tile, that sort of thing. And actually going through and qualifying everything that's in that bid to make sure that what is supposed to be included is included. We spend a lot of time doing that, but that's what, as you brought up, that's what keeps us from having to deal with warranty calls and making sure that our team is providing what is supposed to be provided. And it's all front end work.
And I'll just say what's important here. I would say just 3 words: integrity, craftsmanship, and value.
Okay. And as construction manager, our responsibility is to be the eyes and ears for the village, making sure that's occurring with the team that's out in the field. We're managers of resources. That's what construction managers are.
And I think that's why your question was so important. Your vendors or whoever you work with, if you have that relationship and you know the kind of craftsmanship you can get from them, as Heidi had said, I think that should be high on the priority list for anyone that is considered.
And just the qualification process early on too, when bids are being submitted, there could be ones that our recommendation might be to exclude because of the quality concerns that have been apparent or known in past time from previous experience. So just again, the checks and balances.
Doing that, your checks and balances and going through paying attention to the details, how often do you find in these bids that something's not incorrect or up to spec or par with what you're asking?
Very often.
Very often? Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Especially on a public bid project where there's drawings and there's a spec book and there's a bid page that says, okay, you are to include section so-and-so and a whole list of them, and there may be an HVAC contractor who didn't realize that he's supposed to supply the gas piping. He thought the plumber was going to do it. So those are the things that we have to pick up on. We have to make sure that somebody's got it. So.
And when we're not part of the design, like in this case, that collaboration, that's why that's so important, because you avoid a lot of those potential implications down the road earlier on by talking through all of those items.
If that's all the questions, Chad and Brian, thank you so much for the time you put into this and for your time tonight. I know it's valuable. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Happy holidays to you guys.
Thank you. Same to you.
That's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
So can I ask just really quickly, is there a, I'll ask later.
Okay, moving on to the officials' reports. We'll start with Public Works. Trustee Horn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Merry Christmas to you all. Let's talk about an update on the Court Street resurfacing. Dirt and seed restoration along affected areas of Court Street was completed yesterday. The only remaining task related to this project is the installation of roadway reflectors. Unfortunately, due to changing weather conditions, this will not be completed until the spring. Also like to give a shout out to our Public Works team for the Christmas decorations that they've put up around the village. I think I've never seen more Christmas decorations in this village until this year. So thank you to them. And then, the only other thing is that DPW is ready for the winter weather. Plows are all ready to go. We hope we don't have a lot, but if it comes, we're ready for it. End of report.
Thank you very much. Parks and Recreation, Trustee Gonzalez.
And speaking of Christmas decorations, thanks to all who attended our annual village tree lighting, and a special thank you to the beautification group. And I know DPW worked really hard on getting those decorations up, but the beautification has been working since this summer to bring some more things into the village, and so we're very thankful to that, and it will continue to go on. And thank you to Public Works for all their time and energy to making the village look very festive for the holidays. It's really heartwarming to see their efforts coming to life. Thank you. And also thank you to the Historical Society for hosting Santa, the Monee EMA, for helping with traffic and ensuring everyone's safety, and Monee Police and Fire for bringing Santa safely into Village Hall. It's really amazing to witness that parade, and it was quite a sight to see for all of those who saw it. Our toy, food, and hat and glove drive has brought in hundreds of items that went to Monee Elementary that was collected at Shoup's, Bryan's, Living Creek, St. Boniface, and Monee Education Center, and here at the Village Hall. The food collected will go to the micro pantries. There was a senior luncheon today, and we had special entertainment. The Crete Monee High School Choir came and sang for our seniors and wonderful holiday songs. And thank you to Crete Monee High School for coming out to all the seniors who attended. We'll host 3 more, January, February, and March of 2023. And speaking of Crete Monee School District, as you know, we are beginning to execute the Fireman's Park Plan, and we'll begin to see construction early spring. That being said, Diana reached out to Dr. Kara, a superintendent of Crete Monee School District, to see if we could find a temporary home for the Mavericks youth football team next year, since the field will be under construction. John Konecki, District Athletic Director and football coach for Crete Monee, called and said that there are a few more steps to be taken. But they would love to be the temporary home of the Mavericks next season. If you're watching, Coach John, thank you very much. We are very grateful to the Crete Monee School District for their generous offer. End of report.
Thank you. Moving on to Finance, Trustee Rakis.
Thank you, Mayor. We have some news here. The month of November, we have seen a continued decrease in sale tax revenue of about 6%. Our 2022 audit has begun. The preliminary field work for it has been started. We thank you for updating the technology systems here. Everything seems to be going over well. And as of November 30th, the village general fund is currently working with a healthy surplus for the year. We are online with everything with a healthy surplus. And a report.
Great, thank you. Economic Development, Trustee Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. Under Project Magnify Monee Beautification Project, first draft plans are underway. Once completed, they will be presented to the Board of Trustees for review. Village Gateway signage, hopefully you've had an opportunity to see one of them. They're not complete, so by the end of this year, or weather permitting, we will have electricity to these signs that will be illuminated nicely. In the spring, we will have landscaping done around them to really make them look fabulous. Under Project Unite Monee, we had the tour of the Amazon Fulfillment Center and print and on-demand book facility. While the majority of our residents only get to experience the outside of Amazon or the traffic, members of this administration and board members were fortunate to recently tour these facilities. We understand that with the growth in business can also bring with it inconvenience. However, Monee is very fortunate to have operations such as this, as well as other businesses that call Monee home. Dunkin' Donuts redevelopment project is complete. Please pay them a visit. Economic Director Bill Barnes recently attended Chicago Southland Chamber and Will County Economic Development year-end event last week to hear about the continued growth, development, and stronger interest in Will County for industry, retail, housing, especially looking at upscale townhomes and condominiums. Vortman Steel, Governor State University, and Crete Monee High School collaboration. In November, Director Bill Barnes facilitated a meeting between the owners of Vortman and department heads for the trades program at GSU and their internship program. Both were very excited about the idea to work together in the future to introduce and place high school graduates interested in the trades at GSU programs at Vortman Steel to learn about their business and possibility of interning there and hopefully leading to a skilled career with the global industrial manufacturer that's right here in Monee. He is also following up on new leads for a grocery store. And as always, shop Monee when available. End of report, Mayor.
Thank you. Building Services, Trustee Henson.
Thank you, Mayor. There were 28 permits were issued for the month of November. The permits are valued at $266,935. 15 homes scheduled for resale inspection. The village was reimbursed by the bank for the demolition at 4521 Tulip. And also, Chief, you'll be happy to know that the Dunkin' Donuts, it passed all of its required inspections and anticipates on opening the week of December 19th. And to everyone, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And I appreciate being part of this family. End of report.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Safety, Trustee Udris.
Thank you, Mayor. And I will echo Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a very Happy New Year to everybody. Our Monee Emergency Management Agency has been, of course, been busy this time of year. November 23rd, Monee EMA assisted the Monee Police Department with an escort for the injured Bradley police officer that came through Monee on his way back home from rehab. On the 28th of November, EMA also assisted Parks and Recreation with Operation Gingerbread, placing gingerbread men in Gulf Vista. On December 2nd, Monee EMA provided their light tower and 2 light trucks for the village tree lighting. On December 10th, Monee assisted Second Place Church and Amazon with their food drive. 7 EMA volunteers directed traffic and provided support for over 6 hours for that event. And finally, for EMA, Human Resources is processing 2 new members for EMA and hope to be able to have them sworn in at the January 25th board meeting so that they can begin their training. So congratulations to them. For the police department, a little update here. The Safety Act, Trailer Bill number 3, was approved and is expected to be signed by the governor. The trailer bill did make some improvements over the original bill, but so far is far from acceptable for law enforcement. A hearing on the constitutionality of the bill is scheduled for December 20th. Monee Police Department, in the meantime, is moving forward with their training sessions for all their officers to make sure that they are prepared for January 1st. We will be doing a briefing for the board and community at our next meeting about this. And obviously, tonight, we welcome Patrolman Avers to our department. I think he's going to make a fine addition, and we'll join Patrolman Rizzo tomorrow at the State Police Academy for his graduation ceremony. So Patrolman Rizzo is actually the class president and has received several honors during his training cycle. So big congratulations to Chris. And just a reminder to everybody that Angel Sense is ready to go. If you have a family member with cognizant disabilities, please give us a call. Maybe we can help you out. So, end of report.
Thank you. Moving on to the attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 12 items for the board's review. The first item is a payment to AP Ridgeland Avenue LLC. This is a TIF payout. They've submitted the proper documentation. The payout is $687,203.02. They're located at 25850 South Ridgeland. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Do we have any discussion on this?
So maybe Larry could say that this is kind of happens every year this time about these TIF payouts, maybe that a good explanation.
Oh,
So, because it's
Yeah, I'm
quite
sorry.
sizable.
The TIF payments, according to our redevelopment agreements, are due by the end of the year. They have to show payment of taxes for the previous year. Daryl does a fine job to calculate that the numbers are correct, and then we submit the payments, so we are in compliance with the TIF agreement and also the TIF note. So, and this is not general funds, this is money that has been submitted already for taxes from the company.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Along the same lines, we have another request for a TIF payout. This is to Milco Atwater TIF. This is a Dollar General store on Governor's Highway. The amount is $26,356.82.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second with
Discussion?
discussion, yeah. Now, just for clarification, this is not Dollar General itself, it is the company. Could you
Correct.
explain that? So-
Correct. It's Dollar General owns that, but the company who built it, the developers got the TIF note, and they requested payment. So we've done it for, we're going on 6 or 7 years now, but correct, it's not Dollar General.
And they have done everything that they were supposed to get their TIF, whereas Dollar General is a little bit questionable on things, but again, that's not them, it's
True.
for them. Okay.
It's true.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is 2 payouts to Seafried Properties. This is on the Amazon project. The first payout is for the year 2020. The amount is $1,398,761.91. Once again, all the paperwork has been submitted, and Daryl verified the numbers, so it's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Takes money to make money.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is another payout to Seafried, same project. This is for the year 2021. The amount is $1,354,685.70. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is a payout to Second Place Cafe. The TIF payout request at this time is $72,297.50. I believe all the paperwork has been submitted. Once again, Daryl's verified the numbers. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Any discussion?
Just curious, do we have any idea when the cafe may be up and going? And it's been a minute. Do we have anybody that could let us know any?
There has been some holdups. The last we were told was July. They're hoping to be open, ready in July, but I know there's been some setbacks with finding electrician and electrical material. So that may be changed a little bit.
Thank you.
Water line.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Another payout request to Second Place Cafe. This is a TIF payout once again. The amount of this one is $42,281. They did submit all the paperwork pursuant to the redevelopment agreement, and Daryl verified the numbers. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. The last TIF payment is to BC Development. The amount is $104,971.41. They did submit the payout, payment information, and it should be noted, this is their last payment pursuant to the redevelopment note. We are paid in full with respect to BC Development on this project. So it's up for the board's review and consideration.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is we received a request from Northern Builders to authorize the release of the surety bond. This is for the project at 26051 South Cleveland. All the work has been completed. They've been patient with respect to this release. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Just to show how old this is, was what, 2018? We don't even mess with bonds anymore. But yeah, it's one of our older ones.
I said they were patient, so.
Yes.
They just find it in a drawer or something?
We found it.
You found it, okay.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is we discussed under the mayor's agenda, the tax levy. There's a tax levy ordinance pursuant to the board's direction has been drafted, up for review and consideration. The ordinance is up tonight. It has to be filed by the last Tuesday of December, but tonight is up for the board's hopeful approval. So it's need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
And I'll just say, thank goodness, and this is year number 5, right? This is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
2019.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is the ordinance for the installation of a stop sign at Orchard Trail and Apple Blossom. I believe it's in the packet for the board's review and consideration. This was discussed, I believe, at the last board meeting, the need for it, so the ordinance is up for the board's review.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Just to clarify, there are two parts to this one. The first one is approving the amended ordinance, because at the last board meeting, you did a consensus for Larry to make the amending of the ordinance. So we have to approve that first before you're able to approve the actual ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
And the second motion, part two, is to approve the above amended ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
2020.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is the ordinance creating the position of Building Department Supervisor. There was discussion at the last board meeting as to the wording, I believe. So the wording, I think, has been adopted into this ordinance, so it's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
2021.
Thank you, Mayor. And the last item, bless you. The last item is the ordinance for the sale of property. We approved going out for bid. We selected the bidder, and this ordinance now gives the mayor the authority to sign documents selling the property to the one bidder for 6025 Industrial. I believe this is the old Public Works building. So it's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
2022.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Awesome. Okay, moving on to unfinished business.
I'll take that first one, Mayor.
Sure.
Fireman's Park Pavilion. At the November 9th, 2022 Village Board meeting, it was mutually agreed upon by the board to replace the old pavilion with a new park pavilion pending approval of the most recent design. The board has received the most recent design from PBS for review and consideration. Tonight's board action request is a motion to approve and proceed with the Fireman Park Pavilion design and construction.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second. A
Any
third.
discussion?
Only a statement. Thank goodness. We've got it. It's approved. Now let's build it. I mean,
It looks good, too.
it
Yeah,
does.
it looks really good.
Very good.
Roll call.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you, board. End of my report.
The stop sign on Court Street. Oh, got it. Okay. Unfinished business number 2, Doug.
Yeah,
Take it
okay.
away.
So the way this is worded with regards to the stop sign on Court Street is a little bit of a misnomer. I think the consensus, and there may be some discussion on this, is rather than a stop sign on Court Street, and what's the cross the street?
Eastgate.
Eastgate, to have striping in the roadway, and also a speed sensor, some flashing lights, and I think we already have that equipment in the village. Is that correct?
The radar signs that we.
The radar
approved
signs, thank you.
Earlier, yes. those
Radar
are-
signs
those
are
are-
something completely different, though.
Yeah,
right?
that's completely different from
From
this
this.
intersection. Those are going to be in different locations.
Yep.
Okay, all right, well, I guess that's why we're here discussing this, because I was thinking that we would at least have one of the radar signs there at that intersection.
So, well, if I remember what you proposed at the last board meeting, and a lot of us, I think, have agreed is a good way to proceed, is the zebra stripes creating the crosswalk with the yellow signs that have a push button to, to start up like a yellow flashing light to alert traffic that there's a pedestrian, there. And I think it's like a paint application that creates almost like a rumble strip, enough to make some noise, but not enough to hurt the plows, I hope.
The only concern I think left would be noise, because there's houses fairly close by that.
Yeah.
But no, the striping that's used would
Yeah.
bring the plows.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how much noise there would be at 25 miles an hour, which is the posted speed limit.
So, but yeah, so that was the thought.
That was my understanding too.
Well, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And
The
I
highlighted-
think we were all on the consensus for that
Yeah.
afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the highlighted pedestrian crosswalk.
Right, and if need be down the road, we could look at adding a stop sign
we
to
could
that.
escalate that
If ever
if
it
we need
was
to.
needed, but this at least gives some visual for cars coming through there that they need to slow down and look for people in the area.
So we're not doing the stop signs. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be-
not
that
to
would
do
be
the
my
Just to be
stop
black
signs.
and white and concise, we're not doing the stop signs. We're going to do the crosswalk with the flashing lights and such.
On Court Street
Okay.
at Eastgate.
That way we don't come back next meeting and go, oh, what did we?
So I don't know what the next, is that an ordinance that needs to be written up for that, or what is? Well-
Motion the next meeting to
Okay.
proceed accordingly.
Okay.
On that
Sounds good to
same
me.
vein, do we know how it's going with the radar signs?
I mean, you told me you had them when.
They're here, Chief and I need to coordinate to decide the final location where they're gonna go. Obviously, if there's any input to be had here, that's what we're here for.
Well, on December 19th, Dunkin' Donuts opens, and you guys can go over there and have a coffee and talk about it.
So do we need to make a motion to have that put on the agenda next board meeting, or will it just automatically be? Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Thank you, Doug. Any new business?
There was no.
No, I just have to, a reminder for business licenses, they expire New Year's Eve, and that's the 31st. Anybody who, we've renewed 105 of them. Anyone else that needs to renew their business license needs to be done by the 31st.
Okay, thank you. Okay, executive session for number 5 ILCS 120/2C1, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee. Is that it? Yep, that's it. So if I could please have a motion to adjourn to head to executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
All right, may I please have a motion to reopen regular session?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Okay, item N, possible action to be taken following executive session. Item number 1, possible disbursement of compensation. It has been agreed to pay sick pay at 100% to our executive administrative assistant. Number 2, possible full-time promotions. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we can go ahead and, we have to
Can I
make the
have-
motion.
We're gonna make a motion.
Yes.
Can I have a motion?
I'll
Sorry.
make that motion.
Second.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, any discussion?
Please,
Please, no. Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Okay, now this one I'm going to do correctly. Okay, possible full-time promotion / appointment. I would like a motion, please, to promote Lance to our building services supervisor at a compensation of $52,000 a year.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Open to the public, non-agenda items. If anybody has anything they would like to say, please come forward. Okay. All right, may I please have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
All right, thank you, board.
9:05 PM.